We are back with Blunder Packs here. We are at 11:16. And yeah, let's see some common mistakes that happen at this rating range. We got the white pieces, so let's start off with e4, and we're going to be playing a Vienna. This is a very good opening at this level. Let's bring out our bishop, and they just play d6. Okay, nothing wrong with that. They're blocking in their bishop. Let's just play simple, develop. They offer us a trade. If we take them, they take us, and then they're going to start pushing in the center, so we don't really need to do that. We can just slide back. This way, if they take us, we can take with the A pawn, and we have an open rook, at least. Knight f6. We could maybe go for some f4. And the point is, if they try to move and give this check, we'll still have the pawn here, so we'll be able to play g3. So let's go ahead and play f4. They capture the pawn. Now, if we take, then they'll have something like this potentially. Actually takes, if here, check, we can slide back. And that'll be fine. So let's go ahead and capture. And now the plan is to develop the knight, holding the square. Yeah, so my opponent is trying to get this check, which is fine. So the knight is there. If I go here, they're going to go check. And then I can just play this, but then knight takes, pawn takes, and then they take here. But is that a big deal? I don't think so. So let's slide back, check. We can also go, okay, never mind. I was going to say, if they give us a check, we could take, queen takes, and then slide the bishop back. Let's go ahead and castle now. So they're offering us a knight. They're offering a trade. But after I take, it opens up the queen. So after knight takes knight, pawn takes, I can take here. And that's a free knight. Takes. And we win a piece. And now we can plan to bring in the knight here. Okay. They're kicking us back. Where do we want to go? I could go here. I could even go here. If I go here, I'm kind of threatening this to win the rook. So, yeah, let's go queen to f3. There's no forward moves. They can maybe try and get aggressive, but I'm not really too concerned. Okay, so they're offering a trade of bishops. It's a good move by them. Let's just go ahead and improve our knight here. They take. Now we could take here, or we could take here, but I like taking with the queen so that I can potentially come in here. So let's go ahead and take. If they kick us away, we just go here. The queen can potentially come in here. There's all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so they give us a check, or they attack our knight. However, we have a check. The king has to go here. But now I can go here. They have to protect like this. Could also go here. There's lots of moves that I could do. Let's start with the most forcing. We're threatening to take. So they have to protect. Instead they give us a check, but that's no problem. We'll just go here. They can't take this pawn. Yeah, they have to protect. But now we can go ahead and kick the queen away. So the queen's probably just got to go back. This check didn't really do much. I could go check, takes. I don't see a need for it. Now I think we just double the rooks. Just plan to do this. They're offering a queen trade. I personally don't think that's a great decision because I can take, and then just move. So let's go ahead and trade. We're up a piece, which means we love simplification. Takes, this pawn is attacked. And when I take, it defends this weakness. They protect, or they attack, but we can just bring the king now. We can bring the rook to the g file and attack this pawn. Get the king over here. My opponent did not pay too much attention. They just offered me a trade, forgetting that when I took, it opened up an attack on their piece. Also notice that they have 8 minutes left on their clock. They are playing way too quickly. If you're going to play this quick, play blitz. And, you know, you have all this time. You should start asking yourself, like, what is my opponent going to do when I make this move? So, yeah, just little errors by the opponent here. So, like, after you see rook g1, you got to be asking yourself, like, what are they threatening? And then you got to, before you play king f6, you got to be like, okay, what is my opponent going to respond with? What are their checks? And we have this check to pick up the rook. And my opponent resigns. We played with a 95. My opponent played with an 87. I mean, we just developed. Nothing crazy. And then we strike with f4. They attack the bishop. We just slide back. Castles. And then here's the big blunder. So, like, we saw under 1000. Every single game was decided by one of these one-move blunders like this. This is more of a like tactical blunder because this knight is protected, but you have to think about after a piece moves what opens up. Also, it's really nice to keep track of your hanging pieces. Notice how everything in my position is protected except for this bishop, which means this is prone to tactics, but same with this. And yeah, I mean, we just take, and take, and then it's pretty simple from here. We could have just traded, but whatever. Check, king up, and we just stayed very solid, kicked him back, improve our position, trade when you're up material. I don't think my opponent, like, the computer says this is the best move, but like, you can't trade queens in this position. You're down an entire piece with 0 counterplay. And then blundering a fork. Let's go ahead and play another one. All right, this guy is almost 1200. Almost 1200. And we have e4 on the board. We're going to play a Caro-Kann. These two openings at these levels are great. So they take the center. We're going to strike in the center. They can take. We'll just take back. My opponent said, cool picture. He likes the brilliant king move. Okay, so we strike in the center. They protect the pawn. Just activate our knight. We're attacking the pawn. Most people will play knight f3, protecting. Now we're going to go ahead and pin. They counterpin us. No worries. We can just go ahead and play e6 now. If they take us, we're fine. And as soon as we're prompted in this position, we are going to capture here. And the point is we're going to take here, and we're trying to create a weakness, a backwards pawn. So now I could give a check, but the check doesn't really do anything, so there's no need. Let's get our knight out. We're trying to play knight f5, putting more pressure. Some people get really aggressive here and play this, but it's not good. Now we can just simply go here. We attack this. We're going to get the bishop out. Life is good. They capture. We'll just take back. And now we actually have a target with our pawn. So we could go here, but then they would take. So we can't do that just yet. I can maybe go here. Or I can maybe take, and push. So if I take, they take. I push. I don't know if that's really that great. I could also push, and if they were to take, I take here. But then queen takes. I can also get the queen out, attacking this pawn. Let's go ahead and play queen to b6. We attack a pawn, and now we threaten to push. Instead, they go here, so they're sacrificing this pawn. I think this might actually be a mistake, because I can take, and when the knight moves, protecting the rook, I can take the bishop, and after takes, we can take the knight. So I think we can go ahead and take. The knight can't go to these squares. Very key. They're making my life a little bit hard. I mean, I could still go here because the knight protects, but I think we're winning a whole piece this way. Yeah, so now the knight has moved, but I can take here. If they counterattack us, we can just take. So let's go ahead and capture. Removing the defender of this knight now. And now we pick up an entire piece. Our king is a little bit vulnerable, but that's okay. All right, they attack us, but now we can just take this pawn, pinning the knight, or pinning the rook. We have a lot of pressure over here. So to be honest, I might just try to castle. We don't really need to get greedy or anything, because we're just up an entire piece. A little bit scary. Castles. Can also just push, because if they were to take, then we have bishop takes. Also offer a trade. Let's castle. Let's castle. I like this better. I know it looks a little bit silly, but trust. You know, the queen swings over this way, so we got to be careful. I need to connect my rooks as soon as possible. If I go here and they come in, are we going to be afraid? Probably. Here, here. Maybe I just rook lift to protect. I don't know. Also go here. Let's play this. Yeah, the king gets out of the pin, so they're trying to infiltrate. But now I think we can rook lift. Well, no, we can't. Let's go ahead and capture. Offer a queen trade. They definitely don't want to trade. They will have counterplay, but we're going to hope and pray. Okay, so they're over here. I could do this. Here takes. They can take. I can also push, but then we have to expect this. Let's push. They take. That's no problem. Kind of expected. We have to look out for checkmates, so maybe we actually first go here. Takes. Then queen's coming in. So I think we can actually just offer a queen trade. Let's go here. And when the queen moves, we'll be able to play rook to d7, telling the rook to leave. And don't forget we have 2 connected pass pawns. Okay, so they're offering a queen trade, but we don't have to actually accept. We can just keep developing. Because if I take, they take with the rook. And then, I mean, they might be coming in. But now, okay, so takes, and now I think I can go here, right? Yeah. Let's go here. And now we're just going to offer a queen trade, or a rook trade. No problemo. And once pieces start coming off the board, we're very happy. They can come in. We step up here. Don't go to the back rank, otherwise you lose the rook. Yeah, they get pawns. No worries. We can just start pushing our pass pawn. They want to stop it, but we have 2 connect pass pawns. The strongest of them all. And if they try to bring the king, we can cut it off. So they go here. But now I can push. Because if they take, we just take. And if they try to get behind it, we just take. So this is actually a mistake. And when I go here, they can't actually go back to the back rank to protect. And that'll be GG. All right, so let's run through this. Got a nice Karo Khan. It looks like we actually blundered in the middle game here. So takes. Yeah, all this is good. Get the knight out. Takes. Queen b6. And this is a mistake because we can take the pawn, and we saw the sequence where we win an entire piece. Queen here we take, or rook there, we take a pawn. Long castles is already the wrong way to go. I should kick them back. Queen d1, and then we go bishop e7. King h1 to get out of the attack, and then we long castle protecting. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Instead we go crazy, we go long, and then pushing the pawn here is actually a blunder to this move. To that move, okay. I was going to do something like this. Queen c6 here. Ooh, that is quite nasty. But okay, my opponent gets out of the pin. We go back and it's just completely over here. Trade, infiltrate. Don't play a move like, I guess you can go here. But don't do this. Otherwise there's this check. Still probably winning because of the pawns, but there's no need. And then we push and push. GG. All right, we found somebody who is 1134. Let's go ahead and play e4. All right, so my opponent's choosing to play in a way where they're not protecting, or they're protecting from a distance. But if you can put 2 pawns in the center, you should. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, my opponent is attacking our pawn. So let's simply protect it using the knight. E6, it looks like they want to strike in the center. Let's just develop protecting this kind of weakish pawn. So my opponent's playing bishop to b4. They're trying to remove one of the defenders, but now it's protected using the bishop, so that doesn't really matter. Maybe I can go queen here to attack the pawn. And if they do something like this, well, I guess I go here, they can just bring out the queen. Maybe there's no need for it. Let's just develop our pieces. Okay, my opponent is striking the center, so now I'm going to push through. We don't want to take and open up their bishop or anything like that. They're now going to go here. Or not. Let's now ask the question what the bishop's doing. The bishop just goes all the way back, and we'll just castle. Yeah, they got to do something over here. They got to make some kind of break. Whenever you do that, you need to be a little bit careful. I think I just developed my last piece, and if they were to go here, I just take. And there's checks, potentially. So let's develop. If they take, I'm going to take with the knight. Okay, they don't take. Now they're striking. So they're trying to ruin our pawn structure. I could jump in. I don't really see a need for it. I could take, but that's just only helping my opponent. I could go here, but then they're going to take, opening up an attack, but then we can go here. And if they were to push, we would sacrifice the bishop. So I think I'm actually going to play knight here. Of course, they don't have to do anything. They can just take, yeah. But now I go check. King here, we can take. So I think we can actually just bring the queen in for a check. We're not really too concerned about this. And if we have that move, I believe we can go here. And after takes, we take here. Looks like the bishop's coming in. So let's go ahead and give a check. Take the rook. They take there instead of taking this. It's a pretty good move, actually. And let's see. Let's now protect their knight. They can take the bishop if they want. Instead, they go here. Now what I want to do is kick the knight away. Okay, they take. And the king's having a hard time because I will take here if I can. Let's go ahead and capture the pawn. And bring the rook. Also bishop to c4. Bishop to c3 is going to be pretty crusher. Here, threatening check. And like takes or something. They're attacking the knights. They're pinning the knights, actually. We do have to be a little bit careful here. Let's go here. Oh, okay. We missed this, the last move. I guess it didn't matter, the last move, but now they've gone here, so now I can actually go here. Pinning the queen to the king. Of course, they're going to win the knight, but we'll be able to just move out of the way. And they're still going to lose the queen. They get out of it, so now we got to take, of course. And now it's not completely clear. Let's go ahead and take a hold of the open file. Okay, that's actually pretty sneaky. We have to go here. We're almost getting trapped. This move, though, will win the bishop and attack this. So they've got to be careful. They have to go here, I guess. They can't really get the rook here to trap the queen. But the queen is off place. Without a doubt. Okay, so my opponent plays bishop here. That is just a bad move because now I can go check. They had to, yeah. My opponent just resigns. But my opponent had to play bishop here. And it's not super duper clear what's happening. Because the queen's just really misplaced. Not the cleanest game. Got our pieces developed. And now, yeah, we got just a really nice, pleasant position here. We go for this. They take, check. And this is actually losing. If they just take. Take. And then knight takes. And yeah, we got the rook in the corner, but they've got 2 pieces for it and a pawn. So that actually was not the greatest decision. But they didn't go for it. And then we take, and right here, I mean, we could just go here. I guess not in that position they take. Yeah, but after there, they missed that we could pin the queen. Takes, takes, takes. And here, I think they needed to, I don't know, play knight somewheres. Knight of 6. Well, no, in this position they went knight here. And then I had to play here, and then you gotta do something so that you can go back. Here, I was gonna play this. Bishop d6 is kind of needed to stop the infiltration. And then I would probably just double up and maybe sacrifice, potentially. Rook d8, rook here. Rook d7 stops any infiltration. Because let's say that they don't do that. Let's say that they just make a random rook move. I will sacrifice. And if this happens, we're getting this, and it's going to be over. All right, let's play another one. Let's try to get to 1150. We got 1165 here, playing d4. So we're going to play d5. We have a London system. Knight f6. And yeah, they play e3. Now we're going to go c5. In these d4 openings, it's very important to not just develop the knight here. You want to be able to mobilize your c-pawn, because a lot of the times we do play c5, and I personally like to play an early c5. Not to take, but because I play this line where we go knight here, and opponent's probably just going to develop. Yeah, knight here. And now the point is we're going to play queen to b6, attacking this pawn. This is not possible. And in this position, we have a funny move. We have bishop to f5. This is a theory move, and you catch opponents off guard. The point is we're going to take on b2, and there's no way to save the rook. However, you need to be careful because you can't immediately take the rook. Because if you take the rook, the queen comes back to c2, and yeah, your queen is actually trapped. So you have to first kick the queen off of this diagonal. And I guarantee you will catch people off guard in this line at your level, for sure. Okay, yeah, so they block here. But now we can just go here. The queen has to go all the way back. I could also just take, push, like I can take now because they can't really go here. So, but is there a more clean way? I could also play here, but then there's that. Let's take the rook. And now I'm gonna hit the queen. And so my opponent, you know, didn't want to go all the way back. Instead, they, tried to keep the pressure, right? And they're thinking, if I castle, there's going to be some stuff here. But they forgot that h5 is actually held by my knight, so we're able to take. My opponent resigns. Yeah, you guys will catch people off guard with this move. It's it's nothing crazy. At my level, it actually calls it a book move, but at this like 1100, apparently it gives it a brilliant move. But at the 2000 rated play, this is considered book. Yeah, takes, and then this makes things worse. But what I was saying is in this position, if you just, I don't know, play a move like this, and you were to take, it's a blunder because the queen can slide back. And notice there's no escape square. So white's just going to build the castle, move the rook, and you're going to have to sack the queen for the rook. So if you do it, don't get greedy. Kick the queen off of the diagonal first. All right, we got John here. We win this, we'll be 1150. We got e4. Let's play a Caro-Kann. And they push through. So we're going to play c5. They protect. We're just going to develop and attack this pawn. A lot of the times that's what we're trying to do. And my opponent goes here. So I don't know if their point is to take with the bishop. If they take with the bishop, it's a little bit silly. Not what you should do. You should take with the pawn. Okay, and now they go there. So I could play queen to b6, attacking this. But then they're just going to develop. It's going to be fine. So let's go ahead, get the bishop out of the pawn chain. There's a funny tactic in this position that I personally don't go for, but you can take, and then give a check, and whatever blocks with, you can take here, but I personally don't like to play like that. Let's just go ahead and play e6. They develop the knight. Let's get our bishop or our other knight out. And we're probably going to go here. As silly as it looks to play bishop to f5 and then bishop to g4, we actually want to trade the bishop. Like, it's a rare case where we want to trade the bishop off for the knight. Most times you're told not to do that, but the point is we want to attack this, and the knight is a key defender of it. So if we're able to trade off the knight for the bishop, or the bishop for the knight, we can have one more attacker and they have one less defender on d4. And also notice our pawns. We have a light squared complex, so we're okay with giving up our light squared bishop. They've prompted us to take now, so let's go ahead and capture. And we're simply just going to develop. We can't take just yet. We need to prioritize castling. So let's castle first, and then maybe we have queen b6. We probably had queen b6 on the last move, but okay, I could go here, and if takes, we have another attacker. Then they do, so let's go ahead and play bishop to g5. They don't have to take. Okay, so my opponent does take, Let's go ahead and capture back. And now this is a threat. So how are you going to defend it? They could probably go b5, but then knight takes. So they decide not to protect. So if I take, what are they going to do? They can't do this, we would just trade. So let's go ahead and capture the pawn. I'm taking with the c knight just so that, you know, after takes, they don't have this potentially. We would just take the bishop in that case, but you get the point. It was probably more accurate to take with this one, but I feel like taking with the c knight is a little bit more safe. Okay, instead they go there. It's a very reasonable move. Can't attack it. Maybe we just bring the rook to the file. If they were to take, I can just take with the knight. Okay, instead they played knight to a4, but now that opens up my rook, and we can actually play knight to c2, protected by the rook, and forking their rooks. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, they capture. I can just go ahead and capture this back. There's no rush with the fork. Okay, that's a pretty sneaky move. So the point is, if I were to just attack it now, well, they can't take it because the queen's guarding it, but let's go ahead and capture. Go ahead and capture first. And then maybe we'll kick the knight away and try to bring in our rook to the second rank, become very, very active. So if they were to play here, we can actually go ahead and sacrifice the rook on f8 because we'd be threatening mate. No matter where the knight goes, we're going to be playing rook to c2 with the threat of this. And after rook c2, we'll just go rook to c8. Yeah, even on that move, we're still coming in. Okay, so this looks like a really big fork, right? However, they missed the threat, and we're only thinking about their threats. And now they're getting checkmated. GG. That was pretty much a perfect game. We played a 97. Karo Khan pushed through. Just get our pieces out. And yeah, notice how bishop here. So you're told in the opening, don't move a piece multiple times. You don't have to. So this technically breaks the rule, but as you get better at chess, you need to start breaking these rules, right? So this move does a few different things. You don't really want to put the knight on g6. It's not doing anything there. And as I mentioned earlier, you actually like to trade off the bishop for the knight in this opening. So we go here, we take, and whatever they take back with, we put the knight here, and then as you saw in the game, we applied so much pressure to d4. Also notice that we don't take the knight right away. We wait until my opponent prompts us to. And then we just improve. So we did have queen b6 here, you know, attacking this, but, you know, it can never hurt to just get your king safe. So that's what we did. And taking was an obvious mistake, and they should not take. I think it's Igor. He says to take is a mistake. That's some good advice. Most times, if you take a piece, you're helping your opponent improve their piece. So they shouldn't actually respond, and we're not threatening to win a pawn or anything here. We can take, of course, but after pawn takes, the rook protects. And now the position is just completely lost because we can take the pawn. They go there, we just improve our rook. They let us fork them, and then they trade off material when they didn't need to. This was a nice find by them, a little, you know, cutting off the protection, but we can just take, kick them back, and then we go here. And this was the slip up by my opponent here. Playing this, it allows us to give a check here in checkmate. So sometimes moves like this look very, very appealing. You attack the queen, you attack the rook. Yippee! I'm winning material, but once again, after you move here, or before you move here, not after, before, ask yourself, what is my opponent going to play? Well, Queen f2 here looks pretty scary. uh, so in this position, you probably had to play something like this and just protect. And then I was going to go here. You know, our position's very active. It's not the best way to play, but you can't convince me that this is not good. uh, anyways, we hit 1150. Next episode, we will be hitting 1200. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.